What's up, everybody? It's me, Disbearity here, and we're back again with Mr. Works for Tips and also a special guest, the Anime Waffle, with another episode of the Bearden Talks. Now, today's topics, we're going to be talking about the ending of Xbox 360 games on Games for Gold. We're also going to be hitting up the Ubisoft shutting down certain games for their online features. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about physical versus digital games. Now, this has been on the list of topics to talk about for quite some time, but I think it's now about time to finally hit it up. And I guess since Dylan, since you're the guest, let's go. We're gonna start with three games for gold for 360. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about they're finally ending that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, then what's the fucking point for getting gold then?
That is very true.
Like you just get the Game Pass at that point. I mean, and then you're paying for. Honestly, I think PlayStation's kind of doing it smart, which is weird, because this whole time we've all kind of been wanting this whole kind of Game Pass for PlayStation.
Yeah.
And yet they're like, okay, well now you get online and access to more games, and then Xbox is just like, you have to pay for Game Pass and online, and it's like,
yeah.
Huh?
I also feel like ever since Game Pass came out, there really hasn't been really any good games for games of gold for Xbox. It's just really strange. I don't know. It feels like they're just like, okay, let's just choose the most crappiest games that no one really cares about, and then let's put it on games for gold. But we can also sell Game Pass, because I do think though that if you at least have gold, you get access to the Game Pass, if I recall. I think, but you have to have like the year subscription though in order to get access. Go ahead,
see,
though.
I wouldn't know that. I don't play Xbox.
Same.
I play PlayStation and PC. That's it.
Yeah, I feel it.
I'm pretty sure that's
I guess
literally
even-
all
I
of
guess-
us. We all play
guess-
PlayStation, we all play PC, and well, at least me and Spacey do play Switch. I'm
Yeah.
sure you do too.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I mean, I guess to be fair, fucking letter Kenny. I love that fucking show. To be fair, it like Xbox hasn't. Okay, let's be honest. Xbox hasn't had any great fucking games lately.
Yeah.
I definitely
like PlayStation's cranking out more than Microsoft is.
I mean,
and like, because I haven't seen any games coming out exclusively for Xbox that just make me want to go,
Want to get one?
I should buy a new Xbox. No,
I mean, what's crazy?
I went with PS5.
What's crazy is that they keep announcing like, we have this game, we have that game, we have this game, we have that game, but then there's just nothing to show. And then with the whole games with gold, it's what's to get me excited for. I mean, I'd rather just pay for Game Pass, I'd rather just pay for the 60, get the free games from Game Pass, and call it a day.
Even though for the most part, most of the games on Game Pass, like you said, are kind of bad. But there are like obviously some good ones.
I want to say this, out of like 300, 400 games that they claim, let's say about good 30% of them are like the ones that you probably want to get, but then the other ones are like the just the games that feel like just to pad it. Shovelware and padding it out, I guess you could say. Yeah. I was looking at the list today on Game Pass, and I was just, because I have it for like a month, I was just like, yeah, this is not. I mean, there's a couple like Halo Wars, Age of Empires 4, that I want to check out, but I was just, this is pretty bad though. Like, y'all, I see why y'all keep bringing me back for $1.
That's how it's been with Netflix for me for recently, because they keep fucking sending me emails. It's like, oh, come back. Look, there's this shit, and there's this shit.
Bro, I used to get emails from Netflix telling me that, and then all of a sudden they just stopped coming in.
Oh my god.
See,
but the big kicker is, here's the funniest fucking one for me, is they sent me an email, and they're like, hey, remember Texas Chainsaw? And I go, yeah, I fucking do. As a matter of fact, that's why I canceled that shit.
Like, if I recall, the only major good thing about games with gold, though, is that yes, you did actually get to keep those games. So once you download them or once you get them, they're on your account forever, and they can't go away. But my only issue is that, which we'll get into later, is that those are digital games. Mind you, so those can get taken away fairly pretty easy. So that's I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But do you guys have any more thoughts for the games of gold? Like, what do y'all have anything else to say about it?
Honestly, the best I want Microsoft to do is just make everything available on fucking PC.
Yeah.
Like
I agree
because
with that.
because PC gaming is just becoming a more dominant, gaming platform, and PCs are becoming more readily available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not like the new Xboxes and PlayStations.
I
Because
noticed Sony was put onto that for you, Dylan. I noticed that Sony is starting to do that too. Except they like bring out their exclusives first on like their PS4 or PS5, and then like I guess like about what a year later, they come out
At
on
least a
PC.
year.
Like
yeah,
I think it's like I think the next one's gonna be Returnal. It's coming out pretty soon. From what I saw, like it's like a rumored or usually how most games get rumored on Steam, so they check out like the Steam ID or something like there's like a website for that, and it gets updated or whatever, and people find that out somehow. But I can agree with you though.
which I mean, from a business standpoint, is it's kind of smart.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
I mean, like you can bet your ass, like when God of War Ragnarok comes out, I'm fucking day one on that shit.
I was actually considering but like buying God of War again. I was like, should I buy it again? I mean, but I
Dude,
have it.
it's
You know,
always
I have
I'm,
it
I'm
right
not
here
gonna
though for
lie.
PS4. So
Dude, it's always a nice it's always a fun playthrough.
yeah, I played through it once. I was like, I think it needs to be. I need to do another one pretty soon because I got to remember the story, catch up to it. My only issue is just trying to figure out if I should play the PS4 version or wait just to get a PS5. But I don't think I'm getting a PS5 anytime soon, especially when it's so hard to get. It's crazy to me.
They're becoming a lot more readily available.
You know,
Like,
it.
because I follow a lot of people on a lot of guys on Twitter
Mhm.
that like have that will like get like that kind of like insider info to like when websites are gonna have PlayStations or Xboxes,
Yeah,
and that's actually how I got mine because of the Sony's like Sony Direct or whatever the fuck Sony does.
yeah.
But like, you gotta be fucking quick on that shit.
Now
Of
here's
course.
Plus, but it should become easier now because most people that've been wanting to get it has already gotten one.
yeah, that is true. Now here's
And
one
no,
issue with
go
me
ahead.
though. Here's one issue with me though is that I'm in a dilemma where I want to get like the Steam Deck or the PS5. So like with the Steam Deck,
You
I
got
kind of.
you got to switch. You'll be fine.
But
Get a PS5.
but playing your PC games though on the fly, that's insane. I can go to bed and play my
Yeah,
PC.
but how long until like that? Until they come out with like the Pro version?
That's what I'm waiting for. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm waiting
I
for.
mean, including with the PS5, like there's been rumors going on about PS5 Pro.
That is
Say,
true.
wasn't there like a rumor that like there was gonna be like a version where like it's actually like a black color? Since like that was one of the common things that some people didn't like.
I think you can buy the panels for that now
Well, I know that a lot of people like just.
because PlayStation's coming out with like different color panels and shit.
Makes sense.
Well, I know
Say,
And
that.
I remember seeing like videos about how people would make their own panels and like Sony did not like that.
Yeah, because
no,
they want to do their own thing. Yeah.
I mean, worst case, I could just fucking take the white panels off of mine and just take a paint can to them.
Yeah, true.
That is true.
I know that a lot of people just don't like glossy, the glossiness stuff. They like, matte stuff too because
I
glossy,
mean, I mean,
fingerprints
it's
and
not
all that.
even. I mean, the shit's not even glossy. Like, it's just kind of like static, kind of like matte white.
Yeah.
Like the like, or at least the shell casing is.
Yeah.
Like the kind of in between them. Yeah, it's glossy.
Now, don't get me wrong though. I touched the PS5. My cousin had one. I touched it, so and I played on it for a bit. It
So
was pretty good. I played a little bit of Call
Yeah.
of Duty. Not too bad
but
on there.
I
Yeah,
like the
PS5s are
controller.
pretty nice.
The controller feels nice.
Yeah,
It
it
really
does.
does.
Like
It does.
it's almost like it because it's kind of like that nice hybrid between the PS4 controller and a Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just
It's
it's
like it has like all like, the position of like everything like the PS4 does, but like it has like the bulkiness of the Xbox controller.
I mean, it took like 4 iterations, so I mean, hey.
Better than
or-
better than the banana ring fucking controller we
God, honestly,
had for PS3 back in the day.
I want to see that actually make a return for some reason. I do.
Oh, dude, I would love to see that fucking like because that was a prototype.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put like a picture of like the banana ring controller
Yes.
somewhere
Oh, I got you.
because like that shit was a prototype, and it's like just all of us were just going, that's a banana.
Yeah, I remember.
Banana
I
controller.
remember seeing that in like in a magazine or whatnot, gaming form magazine.
I just find it funny when companies make like silly controllers that like are like very convoluted that like don't need to be made, but then it's just like, you know,
Like the
get a
fucking
good
Steam
chuckle, but
controller.
they can still be good sometimes.
There you go. I got you.
It's like I know obviously like for example, like some people, you know, like the slime controller for like Switch and PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, banana.
But
Shit's
but
so
tips.
fucking-
Oh,
Do you
banana.
have any last words to say about the Xbox games with gold?
Not really. I'm just looking forward to like them possibly, you know, making a lot of things more available in the
Yeah.
future.
Oh yeah, I understand. Got you. So we're gonna move on to our next topic, which I know this is actually also going to tie in with digital versus physical. All right, Ubisoft is going to shut down multiplayer and online services for 15 games this summer. Okay, to give you guys a quick
Mhm.
rundown on this list, you have Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, Assassin's Creed Revelations, San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, Rayman Legends, Silent Hunter 5, Space Junkies, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Zombie U. Now, what are y'all thoughts on that here? How do y'all feel? Now, personally, for me, I never played like a lot of these games on multiplayer or whatnot. But keep in mind, some of these games are actually you're going if you pay for DLC, you will not have access to none of these DLC at all. So once they go away, they go away. Now, what Ubisoft could do, mind you, is that they could make these DLC, I guess you could say, for free, and then make them offline so you can keep on, playing them. But I guess that will cost too much money for them to in order to do that. Instead of having consumer goodwill. Now, what are you guys' thoughts on these games losing their multiplayer functions? We'll go ahead and start with Waffles.
I couldn't fucking care any less because you got to think nobody's fucking playing this shit. Who can you think of that are playing these multiplayers?
Shit, you right. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Show me the numbers.
I can.
There is fucking nobody playing these
You know,
multiplayers.
I can pertain to that because like I bought Tom Clancy's Future Soldier on Uplay like years and years ago. When I bought it, I was like, I'm gonna check out to see if anybody's live and look player. Like one person in the lobby, bro. This was like about 2013, 2014.
Hell yeah.
So I'm like, this is.
No wonder why they wanted to move online.
I mean, eventually, for like games are just really that old, though. I mean, it is about that time for them to like get rid of the multiplayer because there's just no point of them anymore. But my only issue,
Understandable.
is just the DLC though, and things that with those games in nature that you kind of have access to. That's the thing that I kind of just don't I just dislike it because again,
It's a gamble.
yeah, because like they can literally just update it to where you get these DLCs for free, but then they don't want to do that because it's going to cost them more money than whatever.
Yeah, but if it's DLCs for multiplayer, because a lot of these DLCs that you're talking about are strictly for multiplayer only, you're not going to be able to fucking use them regardless whether they keep them in or not.
That is true.
So if you bought them, it sucks to suck, unfortunately.
Now,
but it is what it is.
Now, what about
you can't tell me that people that bought these DLCs are still fucking playing these multiplayers. They fucking forgot about this shit forever ago.
Yeah.
So they're a lot of people aren't going to give two flying fucks anymore.
Yeah, I don't hear people talking about Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. I mean, I heard like good things about it, but don't see people talking about it every day. I mean, we're in the world of battle royale. I'm actually surprised they haven't made an Assassin's Creed battle royale yet. I'm gonna be honest.
Give them time. Give them time.
They're like,
No, see, they're not gonna do that. Instead, they're just gonna put Assassin's Creed skin in Fortnite.
yeah,
Dude, honestly though, now that I'm thinking about it,
I think
the
they do
Assassin's
actually.
Creed Battle Royale would actually be pretty fucking dope.
It would be pretty cool, but
You just hide in shit, and just as soon as a player just kind of sneaks around, and you just hide from them, and then you just manage to get the fucking drop on them.
Ooh, yeah. If I recall, looking here, Ubisoft also shut down. Let's see. It's important to know that the remastered Far Cry 3 and Assassin's Creed 3 will not be shut down. So they remastered Far Cry 3 and Assassin's Creed 3. Oh no, well yeah, I know that for the collection. I know they did that for a collection of Assassin's Creed 3, but for Far Cry 3 they remastered.
Yes, for I think it was either 5 or 6. That was like a special like pre-order bonus or something.
Yeah, it's called Classic Edition. Just regular Far Cry 3 port. It's just regular Far Cry 3 ported to PS4 and Xbox One. It's not even remastered. In fact, you can make out this. Wow, so it's like a lazy remaster, I guess.
Kind of.
For the PS5. Wow, that's actually kind of insane. And also says here that Ubisoft did this last year, which this probably went under the radar for Rainbow Six Siege, or I'm sorry, not Siege, Rainbow Six Vegas, Vegas 2.
Oh, Siege is never fucking dying.
They did it for Lockdown, Far Cry 2, and also Splinter Cell Conviction. Now, Tips, what are your thoughts on this? On Ubisoft shutting down these games?
like Dylan said, I could care less because these games have come out a lot of years, like many years ago, and
10
the time,
plus.
yeah,
Y'all are
the time is
savage.
up.
Y'all are savage. I'm playing. Just kidding.
They had their moments in the spotlight, and now it's just time to turn that off.
I can see that though. I will be said.
It's like some dog year shit. It's like for every year a game lives, it's like 7 years.
That is true though.
Right?
Like they're old. It's time to put them out.
Yeah, games they don't. Yeah, games they don't usually tend to last long, especially since we're in now we're in the battle royale meta right now. Because I always say gaming we go through generations, generations, right? There was the there was the Minecraft generation, there was the zombie survival generation that people were going through, H1Z1 and stuff like that, and other zombie sort of DayZ. There we went through the Call of Duty wave back in. I think Call of Duty came before Minecraft or whatever. Then it was Minecraft. Now we went through the MOBA wave, which had Heroes of Storm. Now we're in the wave of battle royales, and so if you don't make a battle royale or something live service based, then your multiplayer game's just gonna die pretty fairly quickly. I might add.
I don't think I'd say that.
Well, I want to say it depends on what kind of game it is, though.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people.
Because I mean, I can't think of Siege fucking adding a battle royale just because just the regular gameplay is just so fucking fun.
I will be honest with you though, as much Siege is fun, I will say this: that game is probably on life support right now, though.
No, it's not, dude. That game is still going fucking strong. You think it's on life support just because you suck at it?
I do suck at it.
It's like from what I've seen, it says strong as Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, it's still big. I mean, because they keep updating, they keep concurrently updating the game. They constantly balance shit.
We'll say this.
They just reworked the health system and a lot of shit. They actually just added a shooting range.
Well, let's say this.
And how many years ago did Siege come out?
I think 2016, right?
7 or 8 years ago.
I want to say it like this. Not that it's on life support, it's just you don't hear a lot of people talking about it anymore because I think Siege has already went through its time, I guess you could say. It's still in its heyday, dude. Let's see.
You just don't pay much attention to it. It's still going nuts.
Yeah, Siege came
out. I don't really pay too much attention to it too, but there are the rare times where I actually run into a Rainbow Six Siege video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of Siege content creators stopped playing them though.
I think for most reasons,
but that's because at the time it was starting to get stale a bit, but then they started updating a bunch of stuff.
I heard a lot of people started to move away too a bit just because how some of the operators started to become fantasy, but at the same time though they kind of you should already figure that out that was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, but I mean, even kind of the fantasy shit is actually still pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah, I would not doubt it. Like for real.
Like even the newest op, I can't remember their name, but their gadget's fucking cool because it's like a fucking it's like a sideways Beyblade that they just fucking throw and it rolls around along the ground and it drops little like hologram projectors.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Fucking like shoot it basically just builds a giant like wall that neither team can see fucking through. Well, unless you're fucking Warden and you use his glasses and you're like, I can see you, bitch. They actually made Warden viable.
They finally made him viable.
Because nobody ever used Warden because his skill fucking sucked. And the only time you would get to use it is if there were smokes involved or flashbangs involved. That was it.
I will say this: Siege is like the MOBA. It's like in a sense like League of Legends, and I feel what I mean by that is, yes, they both have their core gameplay, but it's the way how they keep adding champions or operators to keep the game more fresh and stuff. And I mean, it's good. That's actually it's a good thing because they keep content flowing and stuff. I'm just surprised how they can come out with like a lot of ideas to come out with different operators and stuff. That's what I'm surprised about. But hey,
Yeah, I mean it works.
Yeah.
I mean they figure out like what hard counters, what soft counters, like specific gadgets. They add new guns, they buff them, nerf them, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many guns now have access to like every optic, so like everybody can have their own little pick and choice.
I feel
It's I mean the fucking I mean Ubisoft keeps that game alive and well, and it's just impressive. And granted,
I'm actually surprised myself.
I love it. I love it though. It's still so much fun.
What's up, guys? It's me, Disbearity, and thanks for watching this video. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please consider liking and subscribing, and also clicking the notification bell. Lastly, if you'd like to support me further, definitely consider subscribing to my Patreon, where you can support me to as low as $2 a month.
What's good, everybody? I'm Works for Tips. I also want to thank you for watching this video. I'm a variety content streamer on Twitch who enjoys playing RPGs, platformers, and strategy games. You can also find me on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter at Works for Tips, where I rarely post anything. But if you are to follow me, please be at least over 18, as I might like/retweets NSFW content. Thank you.
We're going to be moving over to our last topic, which also involves a little bit of the second topic here. So, as you guys heard, with Ubisoft, removing the online play on a lot of these games, right? They actually delisted Assassin's Creed Liberation. So, if you bought that game, then you own it, right? But uh, you can't rebuy it anymore. But you at least what it first was is that if you bought it, actually, let me take this back. So during this past Steam sale, they were selling it, right? But then this news came out that if you bought the game, you won't have access to download it or basically to download it or access it in any given way once I think September 22nd or 2nd happens. And so you basically just lost your money. And so they were going with that for a bit, right? And then there was so much backlash that they said on Twitter, "Oh, if you bought the game, then you'll always have access to it." Now, keep in mind that's the one. I think Liberation is the one that takes place in New Orleans or something like that, where he plays, I think, as the black female, or whatnot. So I find that kind of strange that they would do that. But this also goes over to where it is physical versus digital games. Now, which one of y'all want to start out with that first? Which one of y'all? Physical.
I mean, both have their pros and cons. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, because with digital, you can get the game right there, then download it, bang, pow, boom, whatever. Tickles your aunt, fancies your uncle, whatever the fuck euphemisms are. and just play them right there. Or, you go out to the store or order a physical offline, and then you just kind of got it, and just even if they take the game offline or whatever, if the fucking Skynet takes over and we don't have internet anymore, oh, well, at least we can still play the game.
Yeah.
Now, for me, physical games mean a lot to me. Like really, they mean a lot to me. Mostly because I I like the feeling of actually owning something, but I'm also personally I'm a game collector. Like I try to collect as many games as possible, whether it's either PS4 or Nintendo Switch as of right now. Um, and I feel like now this is going to pertain with Nintendo Switch, at least for Nintendo, is that Nintendo doesn't like to they like to come up with their games, right? But they don't like to resell their games down the line or down the years. So once a game gets delisted or it's gone, it's gone. And so, but also, really scares me about digital games is that let's say your account gets banned or your account gets locked down, right? Because some hacker or somebody got into it, or some type of mishap, a misstep, you lose access to all your games. I've seen stories of people where people got their Switch hacked somehow, and then once they got their Switch hacked, they lost access to their account, and then Nintendo wouldn't even try to like honor that or to try to help them get it back. And that's a scary moment, a scary thought. And so, when it comes to my Nintendo Switch, of course, I have a lot. My collection of like what 48 games right now on Nintendo Switch, and that with that collection there, this is 48 physical. So I do have some digital, but this is 48 physical. And like I said, I try to buy as many physical copies as possible because this game right here, you know, let me try to find. I don't know. I got so many games. It's kind of hard. Here, let's actually give this an example. Oh no, I dropped the game. So let's give it an example here. Actually, let's go with these two. I can give an example out of these two here. Okay, so what I have is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, and I have Divinity Original Sin 2. So I have this game on PC, and I have both these games actually on PC. Correct. Um, Here in America, or at least the NA releases, this is actually a Play Asia Chinese copy. Um, I imported this from Play Asia, and this has all three games on the cartridge, of course. Now with the what do you call American version, you can only down play what do you call digital. Okay. Same thing with here. This is actually a limited run game. Divinity Original Sin 2. Everything's on the cart. Something ever happens, it's there. I mean, it's there. Any updates. It also has crossplay with Steam save. So if we were playing this game on PC, I could save it on my on my Switch version and vice versa, which is really cool. Um, and so with me, like that's what I cherish. Now with PC though, PC is different. Like I don't mind buying any game on PC, as long as I know like companies like Valve, they'll say that if like they ever go down, you'll be able to download all your games or whatnot. I believe they have, yeah, there is an article of them saying that, which is like makes it perfectly fine. But it's also the scare of like you losing your account, especially if you buy games a lot. That's also because y'all see those hackers, right? Where they'll send they've been doing it on Discord now as of late. They'll send you a DM saying, "Hey, I found your Steam account somehow, and I'm a Steam admin," and they're like, "Let me get into your details of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
account." Yeah, and that's scary. That's scary.
It's like, hey, is this your account? And it's like, delete message.
I actually almost fell into that almost until I was like, "No, you can't fuck out of here."
Like, Steam would probably fucking email you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
what are you guys' thoughts on physical versus digital? Like, I think I know we got it from Dylan. What about you, Tips? What are your thoughts on it?
Like Dylan said, they have their pros and cons. If anything, I'm more of a physical collector than a digital, mainly just because I do like the feeling of actually being able to have like the case and like see the art as well as just like want to
Mhm.
display it to be like I have this many Switch games. And it's also just the fact that like when you think about it, when we were younger, obviously physical was like all we could do, since digital wasn't like mainstream like it is nowadays.
Yeah, that is very true. Like, I said, my main scare is just me losing my collection of games. So I'll
Of course.
cry. um, but yeah, like again, they do both have their pros and cons. You're not wrong on that. I just feel like the scary thought though is as of right now we are going into this digital future though, because as you guys know, when you buy a digital game, you're only buying the license to play that game, and you can't physically like touch it. And so a developer of any sort at one point, or if they ever feel like it, they can literally revoke that license away from you. You know, especially if you, let's say you get your account banned on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, no matter where you are at, and you get your account banned. That's it. Let's say years ago I got my account banned on Xbox for hacking the marketplace. I'll tell you about that later. I think this is during the time when Gears of War 3 was coming out, and it would play the beta early. But yeah, so like, you know, once you do that, you lose access to your account. They'll ban you, and you don't that money that you spent. That's it. You know, that's gone. And so that's just a scary thought that eventually, with this whole digital world, it's it's gonna be different. That's why all I can say, man, about it. It's gonna be different.
I also will say that it's also scary because some companies won't even like care to try and help you if like it wasn't even your fault.
Oh yeah, they're coming. And then here's the thing: if you charge back, well, they're in your account because you charge back. Because I feel like when Nintendo and Sony need to pull a Valve. I think Valve went into the right direction. 'Cause if you want to know, like back of the day, speaking of like this is about speaking about refunds and stuff, is that Valve didn't allow refunds either until I think the Australian court basically forced them to say like you have to give out refunds or something like that. If you don't like the whole people don't like the game or whatever. So that's why they came up with the whole like you play the game for 2 hours, you refund if you don't like it, refund it within the 2 hour mark or 2 weeks
Yeah.
or whatever, and blah blah blah. I think Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft should really really consider adopting that notion.
Yeah.
Especially now because that gives me more trust in them with the care of like digital games. Now, if you want to speak of like older consoles, right? Let's say with the Wii U. The Wii U is about to go off. Well, at least the shop is about to go offline pretty soon, like next year, if I recall. And there's a good amount of games on there that I think is going to disappear when that shop goes down.
Yeah.
And you will have access on that console again. Now you can say, "Well, I got emulators, that can play this." But I know that like some people like to enjoy emulators, but sometimes it's just not the same as just you physically playing on that console. You know, like for me, it all depends for me when it comes to like an emulator. I know, you have a lot about playing games on emulators and stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but emulators or games on emulators is one way that game preservation is a thing though, because without game preservation, a lot of these classic games, or whether they're shovelware or vaporware or whatever, would definitely be lost.
Vaporware's a music genre.
Well, whatever.
You just shovelware. Just
Shovelware,
shovelware.
there you go, shovelware.
I do want to kind of get back on the whole refund thing. I do remember one of my buddies tried because they bought Spelunky 2 on PS4 because we thought that the game had crossplay at the time. This was like maybe like 3 months ago, and for some reason they wanted to try and refund it because apparently they could, but Sony was like, you can't refund it because you played it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's something there. I'm telling, and that's the thing. That's the thing is that they need to have like a new refund policy. But companies
Yeah.
they're greedy as fuck. They don't want to lose money or whatever.
Since they were lucky enough to actually get their money back, but
I
I
think.
just find it stupid that it's just like, yeah, we can't refund it because you opened the application.
Well, how'd they get it back?
I forget how they got it back.
They lawyered up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it. But do you guys have any last words about physical versus digital? Like, what do y'all think the future will hold for this?
The future for physical it looking too great, but
It really isn't.
there'll be people like us that'll try to keep it alive and well.
Hopefully, man. Because like when I see those digital PS4, I'm sorry, PS5 and Xbox One consoles, bro.
I got physical. I
I'm
got
sorry.
a physical PS5.
I'm sorry. I can't see myself getting no digital cons. No, sir.
No.
No,
It's like, and you could already tell considering the fact that they literally made two different versions, one for physical and digital.
I actually want to see the numbers on those to see which one sold the most, and I want to guarantee that I bet the physical sold the most for the most part.
I think the opposite.
So I want to see which.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Dylan might be right on this, even though I don't want it to be true. But let's be honest, it's with how people are, digital is gonna probably just rule the world at this point.
Yeah. Plus the digital's cheaper, so I'm sure a lot of people will go for that.
Oh, so apparently, which console sold the most here? I'm about to check a couple different websites here. People it's saying so far, at least on this website here, that the physical console sold the most so far. But that's just one website though, so I gotta look, at a couple more to like make sure
Yeah.
to get a better idea. But here goes another one. PS5 owners prefer physical games over digital. Let's see, PS5 box games also digital releases. So yeah, it looks like a lot of them are still preferring physical. So hopefully, I mean, I guess that holds up for the remaining future. But I highly doubt it within
Yeah.
like what 8 years from now. It's every console generation is what 7. It's like what every 7-8 years right now.
And
So
like whatever the next Xbox console is and the PlayStation 6 come out, it's gonna be like, yep, you can only do digital.
PS5 came out. PS5 and Xbox came out what in 2018 or 2020? It was 20. Yeah, it was
Like the
2019 or
new
20.
Xbox and
Yeah, PS5 and
PS5,
yeah.
2021, bro.
20, really? Did they really come out 2021?
I was gonna
I
say
think
either
so.
2020 or 2021.
Yeah, it's PS5 release. I have to make sure. Like, I feel like the PS5 been out for like 2 years already. Oh yeah, you're right. 20. Yeah, no, November 12th, 2020. That's when the PS5 came out. So, and about 2026, 27 ish, we should be seeing the PS6 or Xbox Triple X 3069.
They always have to come up with creative names for Xbox, and PlayStation's just like increase that number by 1.
We just put a 5 there. But do you guys have any last words for physical versus digital?
Nah, just
I'm ready
really
for a
hope
nap.
that
That's my final words.
I just hope physical just can stay a lot longer than, you know, maybe like another year or two.
Agreed. Agreed. I definitely agree with you. Well, guys, that will wrap up the Bear Den Talks podcast, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, remember to always like and subscribe. Also, if you ever want to, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Definitely consider following Mr. Works for Tips on the Twitters. That's where he stays. And you also must be how old are you? Must be Tips.
At least 18.
Yep, 18 plus. Then we have Mr. The Anime Waffle. Definitely follow him on the Twitters. Make sure you have the links to their Twitters posted down below that you guys will be able to support them and check them out. All like once again, every source that we have in this podcast will be posted in the description below. But once again, y'all, thank you guys for your support. Hope that you guys have a good one. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. Peace out. Much love, everybody. We out.
Bye.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also hit the bell notification down below. Thanks for watching.